It's nice to actually get beat. For once, it sounds weird to say.
The ending is already written, and it's ugly because this entire lightweight and heavyweight landscape is about to snap in half. Careers cracked, legacies smeared, and people pretending they didn't see it coming. So now rewind with me, because the way Arman Tsarukyan laughing at Paddy Pimblett, Jon Jones circling Daniel Cormier like a ghost from a past life, and Ilia Topuria walking out of a Spanish courtroom smiling all collide is not coincidence, it's pressure building. And nah, this can't be real, not all at once, unless something way bigger is moving behind the curtain and someone is lying right now.
This idea that I could lose a wrestling match is out there. Stay tuned, because if he steps on that line, I'm taking this dude 10-0. Like I said.
This starts with Arman, because of course it does, because Arman doesn't just win fights anymore, he hunts moments. And when Paddy tapped in that chaotic BJJ pit where survival is the only rule, Arman smelled blood instantly. Not because a grappling loss ends a career, but because timing like that weeks before UFC 324 is how confidence fractures. And when Arman calls him a trash can, it's not trash talk. It's a declaration that he sees Paddy as weak at the exact moment the division is watching. And tell me, you don't feel that shift.
Muy pronto, entonces no estoy nada agobiado, estoy muy tranquilo, por favor. Si me dejáis paso.
¿Por qué estáis aquí? Cuéntanos.
Es por la custodia de tu hija, Ilia.
Por favor, tenemos que pasar.
Espera, Ilia.
Pero por favor.
¿Tú estás tomando un descanso? ¿Cómo estás tú también, personalmente? ¿Cómo te encuentras, Ilia?
Cuando salga, tal vez.
¿Cuál es tu prioridad ahora mismo, Ilia?
Mi prioridad es mi hija, mis hijos, mi familia, esa es mi prioridad.
But don't blink yet, because while everyone's laughing or coping or defending Paddy, something darker and quieter is unfolding with Ilia Topuria. And I'm not saying guilt or innocence. Don't twist this. I'm saying optics and pressure and power. Because watching Ilia walk out of a court tied to family, control, and his daughter's future, while cameras wait, is the kind of real-life weight that either sharpens a champion or cracks one. And the scary part is he smiled, and that smile is either calm confidence or the mask before chaos. And here's where it spirals. Because Paddy's loss wasn't just a loss, it was footage. And footage lives forever. And Arman knows that. And contenders know that. And Justin Gaethje definitely knows that. Because when a fighter known for swagger gets caught tapping in a free-for-all, people stop fearing the myth and start calculating the math. And once that happens, the cage gets smaller, the margin disappears. And don't be shocked if someone close to Paddy is panicking right now.
Arman said, "Is this the trash can that said he can out-grapple me?"
Now smash cut to Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier, pretending history can be boxed up neatly like it didn't poison years of the sport. Because when Jon says the rivalry doesn't define them anymore, I hear a man testing the waters, not making peace. And when DC nods along, I hear unfinished business humming under the surface, because rivals don't just turn into co-workers unless there's money, ego, or one last score to settle. And something about that video Jon sent feels off. Think about it. A random number, a video, a pan, Jon Jones appearing like a jump scare from DC's past. That's not friendly. That's psychological warfare dressed as nostalgia. And when DC says, if Jon challenges him, he'll respond, that's not retirement talk. That's muscle memory. And here's the time bomb. Because nobody floats wrestling matches publicly unless someone behind the scenes already whispered numbers, and you don't tease 10 0 wipeouts for nothing.
I think it'd be great to have Daniel Cormier part of this show. Obviously, him and I have a rough history. I know he doesn't like me very much, me beating him twice. but I think him coming out here to Thailand and filming with me will be a great opportunity for us to mend this jacked up relationship. But I have no problems with him. If anything, him coming out here would give us both an opportunity to maybe start a friendship.
And now, don't dismiss the wrestling angle, because this is where it gets dangerous. Because DC isn't talking grappling for clicks. He's talking Olympic muscle memory, daily reps, instincts that never die. And when even Islam quietly admits that pure wrestling is the one lane where Jon is mortal, that's not hype. That's a warning label. Because Jon Jones has avoided only one thing his whole career: losing control of the narrative.
Being around Jon Jones it's different because we had such a bad history. But the reality is I'm done fighting now. And it's like that part of it's gone, so it's not nearly as nasty. But I think that we've done a good job of being professional as much as we can. Obviously, we argue a lot, but that's just the status of our relationship. But I think that we've gotten to a point in our lives where we can be in the same area without trying to fight each other.
Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. If Jon ever agrees to that match and loses, even in a different rule set, the aura cracks. And once the aura cracks sponsors Twitch, fans argue and legacy debates turn savage overnight. And ask yourself why this conversation is suddenly everywhere now. Why now? Why when Jon is talking peace? Because peace is what people talk about before detonations.
Армен сказал, что с Джоном Джонсом поборолся бы и, цитирую, надрал бы ему задницу. Как ты думаешь, насколько вот, если эта борцовская схватка произошла бы все-таки, она, возможно, может произойти в Лиге РАФ, Корми был бы успешен?
Ну, знаете, такое противостояние, где только в борьбе Корми может потянуть Джон Джонсом, потому что Джон Джонс хорошо борется, но борьба это стихия Корми, и это парень олимпийского уровня. Это большой уровень.
Then you've got DC shifting gears and praising Islam like a proud older brother. And yeah, it's wholesome, but it's also strategic, because Islam becoming a two-division champion doesn't just complete a circle, it redraws the map. Because when Islam moves up, he vacates power below, and vacuums create violence. And Arman and Ilia sitting at the top of that chaos is not accidental, it's destiny being forced.
In the last few years, we see that MMA fighters are more competing in grappling matches.
Yep.
For you, if there's the right offer, would you like to grapple with somebody?
Grappling? I don't know so much. Wrestling? Yeah, I'll wrestle Jon Jones. Yeah, they can give me and Jon Jones a wrestling match. Whoever wants to pay for that, yeah, tell us. We'll wrestle me and Jon Jones. Freestyle wrestling. Me and Jon Jones, 2-3 minute periods. It won't take that long though.
How do you visualize that matchup?
It would be a wipeout.
And Sean Strickland, unfiltered as ever, cracks the code when he talks about that suffocating Dagestani and Chechen pressure. Because he's describing fear, not technique. The voice in your head saying this guy doesn't stop. And when he says it breaks once you push back, that's not just analysis. That's a blueprint. And blueprints spread. And trust me, some camps are rewatching that clip on loop right now.
Considering your relationship with Islam and you met him as a kid, he barely, spoke any English. He was just a kid with this dream. What was it like for you to see him with the front row seat, to see him achieve that goal?
It's so satisfying. Anytime, we all give each other shit about stuff like that. We make jokes, but all I want is for him to be better than I ever was. All those guys. Every one of those guys that we trained together, like when Luke would fight, I wanted him to do better than me. When Kane would fight, when Habib would fight, all you want is for your brothers to do better than you. You don't want to, I want every record I ever held in AKA to belong to someone else by the time I'm done and gone. Because then that would mean that our gym, the gym that gave us all so much, still is producing champions. And champions at a rate that when we were in our heyday made us the best gym in the world.
But Strickland doesn't stop there, because calling Anthony Hernandez the American Chimaev is him drawing a line through Whitaker's name, and that's disrespect wrapped in realism, because fights that lead nowhere kill momentum, and Sean knows momentum is currency. And when he says beating Whitaker does nothing, he's admitting something brutal about how fast this sport erases you, if you're not the next threat.
If you look at Islam just had a dominant fight over an Aussie, Hamza really dominated DDP. Why does everyone struggle against these type of wrestlers?
Well, I already called it in the game with DDP. It's like I've been training with these little Chechens and whatever, the Dagestanis my whole life. I'll give you an example. So you'll train with these guys and it's 1,000% off the gate. They take you down and there's a voice in your head that's almost like, fuck, This guy doesn't get tired, he doesn't stop, he doesn't quit. But then the moment you push back and you just keep fighting the good fight, all of a sudden they just start breaking. You see that with Gilbert, you know, like you had a welterweight that just didn't let you ragdoll him, and then next thing you know, you weren't wrestling anymore. So they have a very unique way of grappling, and unless you've experienced that, it's just something you're not used to.
Then comes the injury confession. And this is where the mask slips, because saying you don't say no to the UFC isn't comedy, it's a confession. It's a system that chews you until you agree. And when Sean admits he walked into a rematch injured because he felt cornered, that's not toughness, that's survival. And how many fighters are nodding quietly hearing that right now?
Oh, I don't want Whitaker.
You don't want Whitaker?
It doesn't do anything. I beat Whitaker. There's no title shot ahead of that. It doesn't do anything. Good thing about Fluffy, guy's on like a 50-fight winning streak. You're next in line. He's like the American Chimaev. Like, that's the fight. It's like the girl at the party, everybody's fucked, and you're just like, you know, like maybe if at 3 a.m. hits and there's nobody left, I might try it.
Yeah, you're saying Whitaker's body count is too high.
Yeah, Whitaker's body count's too high.
Now, slam back to UFC 324, because Paddy saying he's going to retire Justin Gaethje isn't confidence, it's provocation, and Gaethje is the last man you provoke casually, because Justin doesn't just beat you, he taxes your future. And when Paddy frames this as closing a chapter in Justin's career, that's a young man daring the violence gods to answer, and they always answer. Always.
I deserve this, but before the Dragus fight, I was fucking riding with Axel Hodges and I broke my shoulder. So I was in Colombia getting stem cells on my shoulder, and they hit me up for the fight. And you know, like, the thing with the UFC, dog, you don't say no. There are pimps. Like, you know, you don't say no to the masters.
You gotta say yes.
You know, so I was kind of like backed up in the corner taking that fight. So taking this time off to let my body heal has been amazing. Like, the shoulder feels fucking great. So I mean, I do miss fighting, and you know, I miss performing, but it's been nice to be a fat, lazy piece of shit.
Michael Chandler leaning Gaethje isn't hate on Paddy, it's experience talking, because Chandler knows levels, and when he casually adds that Gaethje could then beat Ilia later too, that's him redrawing the future in one sentence, and futures don't like being predicted out loud, because someone always shows up to ruin them, and that someone might already be training in silence.
He's a special fighter, right?
Yeah, he's unbelievable, absolute legend of the sport, legend of the lightweight division, and it's an honour to get in the cage with him and fight him, but I feel bad saying it because I've said it already. I think I'm going to retire him.
Is that where you think he is in his career? You think he is?
I think he could be on the verge, on the precipice of retiring. He said himself he was going to retire if he didn't get a title shot, so when I beat him, he's not going to get another title shot, is he? So.
And that brings us right back to the real fight. Nobody can ignore anymore Arman versus Ilia, because when DC says they're the two best in the world without Islam, that's not praise. That's matchmaking destiny, and the tension between them isn't fake. It's simmering, it's unfinished. And here's the part that should make you uneasy. The UFC doesn't tease fights like that unless contracts are already being whispered about.
Gaethje, Paddy, what do you think it looks like?
Oh man, more skilled, more experienced. I think better fighter all around, Justin Gaethje. But I also have been on record and said that Paddy Pimblett is better than a lot of people think he is. You know, because of his, his haircut and the way he talks and the, some of the, the strength of schedule. People don't give him a lot of credit, but when I fought him in April in Miami, I'm not going to say that I was surprised because I was expecting the best version of Paddy, but he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. He's got long reach, good kicks, pretty darn patient and composed in there. But Gaethje's a whole different animal. So if I had to bet, which I can't, but if I had to lean one direction, I'd go Justin Gaethje, interim champion, and then he beats Ilia Topuria later on this year.
All right. Okay.
We see that Arman Tsarukyan is so active in grappling, you know?
Listen, man, this guy might just be the best lightweight in the world. Since Islam's gone, he's really good, man. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. The champion, Ilia Topuria, is tremendous. I think Ilia and Arman are the two best guys in the world. I think they need a fight at some point because I think Paddy Pimblett is awesome. Justin Gaethje is awesome. Arman and Ilia seem to have something, and not only something in terms of skill, but between the two that we could build a great fight around, right? So yeah, I think Arman's fantastic though, man. He's good. He looked great against Dan Hooker too.
So sit with this unease because none of this is resolved. Not Paddy's confidence, not Ilia's off-cage pressure, not Jon and DC's fake peace, not the vacuum Islam left behind. And if you think this all settles cleanly, you haven't been paying attention. Because something is coming, someone is hiding something. And when it breaks, it's not going to ask for permission.